Hey y'all, not too long ago I got an email asking if I would participate in a foodie event that was tied in with the World Cup, which starts this coming Saturday. Apparently, this friend of mine has decided that each country that will be participating in the World Cup should have a similar dish come to the party, and I'm okay with that. I am supposed to bring in a contribution from the USA. So this Saturday when the USA takes on England, this is what we're going to be watching on the Foodie World Cup portion. Now, as far as I'm concerned, if you want a representative dish of the United States, that means barbecue. And I'm going to show you one that's not very well known, something I grew up with. And it is super, super easy. So when you pull this one out, everybody's going to wonder what in the world you have done. You can tell them or not. Take all the credit if you want to. Alright, so all I've got over here is a bunch of chicken. I have some white and some dark meat. I've got lovers of both kind in my house. And over here I've got the breast. Over here I've got the chicken legs. And all I did to these was soak them in a good amount of buttermilk. I'd say for about 6 hours this afternoon. Now a couple hours ago, I drained off the buttermilk and I let them air dry in the refrigerator. We want the buttermilk flavor to stay there, but we want the dry skin because we want crispy. Now this is how easy this is. Alright, so we're going to go with our salt and pepper and be liberal. Not only does it season everything, the salt will help ensure that the skin gets nice and crispy. Crispy skin is what it's all about. Now, on these, I'm actually putting these on the grill. And technically speaking, that's not barbecuing. That's alright. We're going to go with it. So this is a grilled chicken. And what I'm going to do to it is throw them on the grill, and at the last little bit, right before it's done, I am going to treat it to an Alabama white barbecue sauce. Now, a lot of places have their own barbecue, and that's good with me. You know, I have my own personal preference, but honestly, you hand me a plate of barbecue from anywhere. St. Louis, or Memphis, or the Carolinas, or Texas, you name it, I'm going to say thank you. Keep my mouth shut. This one is not very well known. Alright, hang on, I gotta wipe off my chicken hands. Hang on. Alright. I'm hurrying. Yeah, that's it. Look at the chicken. Okay, now. Alright, so this is ready to go on the grill. All we're gonna do is pop it out there in a minute. Before we do, so that the flavors can come together, I'm going to show you how to put together this white sauce. Now, Alabama is where I was actually born. I grew up in Tennessee, but I was born in Alabama, and I spent a lot of time down there. Now, this is a white sauce, and it's really only known down there, and I don't know why, because it's out of this world, unlike anything else you've ever had. So we're going to start with a cup of mayonnaise. And in here, I've got about 2/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. Now, the vinegar, of course, you're going to have it in just about any kind of barbecue sauce you run across. It's because it's fabulous. And a lot of recipes, if you look up an Alabama white sauce, a lot of recipes, gotta salt it, will have a 1-to-1 ratio on the mayonnaise and the vinegar. Much as I adore vinegar. Good have a healthy pinch of salt, maybe a teaspoon and a half, tablespoon lemon juice, good fat pinch of red cayenne pepper. And you can make this as hot as you want. Anyway, it'll have a 1-to-1 ratio, so say a cup of vinegar, and a cup of mayonnaise. Frankly, I think that's a little too heavy. I like it when it's a little lower than that. The other nice thing about this is if you like the spicy, you can go to town on it. Chop up some serrano or scotch bonnets, habaneros, jalapenos, whatever flavor profile you're after, whatever heat level you're after. In this case, I'm going to go nice on people. I probably ended up with a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of cayenne in that. I will say the mayonnaise does a lot to mitigate the heat that comes in the cayenne. Alright, so now this is going to go in the refrigerator while our chicken is grilling. I've got that grill cranked as high as it'll go. And I am going to go put those on there, and I'll see you out there in a minute. Okay. I started with a really hot grill. I mean, it was up there at about 650, 700 degrees. And that's good. That's exactly what we want. I put the chicken breast on and gave it 10 minutes. And now I'm back to add the legs. I'm going to move those over a little bit. I'm going to run out of room. All told, and I love how this works, the breast needs about 30 minutes. The legs, about 20 minutes. So I set the timer At the 10-minute mark, I come back out, flip it at the next 10-minute mark, and the last thing I'm going to do, once we've had 20 minutes here, is come out and give everything a little dose of that barbecue sauce. Now, when you're cooking with sauces, you really don't want to put anything on there that has a sugar content because you're going to burn whatever you're grilling. So I want to wait until the last few minutes of cooking time before I add my sauce. That way it gets caramelized and luscious and beautiful on the chicken that I'm cooking, but it doesn't get scorched and burnt and nasty. So I'm going to go reset my timer for 10 minutes, flip everybody over, and I'll meet you back here for when I get to sauce them up. Alright, my last timer hadn't quite gone off yet. I'm waiting on it, but I wanted to show you something. See all this? Now you can also do this. So I don't have flame, but I have a lot of smoke. A few minutes ago, I actually looked at the bottom and I saw flame. Now, I want to talk about two things. The first one is you want to watch the flame. You want to keep the flame low, but you also want to keep the lid closed. That keeps the heat way up. You get that grilled smoky thing happening, but you don't actually get flame that will char. That helps cook your chicken all the way through. Now, see over here? You can see where my particular grill took a little maneuvering to keep the skins crispy and everybody happy, but to make sure that nobody got overdone. This right here, let's look at him, he's pretty. This one right here is exactly what I'm talking about. You see how the skin has rendered down and gotten crispy and beautiful, and the chicken is almost cooked all the way through. I know that because I've kept my lid closed. If I didn't have to open that lid, I didn't open that lid. I've got about 3 more minutes left, and it'll be time to sauce them up. I'll be back then. Alright, we know the chicken is just about cooked through. And at this point, you got to do a little maneuvering because you don't want open flame right under your chicken when you put the sauce on. You want a good bit of high heat. And come in here and be generous. Just slop it all over the place. And as soon as you've done that, we're going to close the lid. We're going to let it bake on there inside that hot grill. Whoa, Nelly, that's hot. We're going to let it bake on there for a minute. We're going to flip it, do it again on the other side. We're going to pull it off and let it rest. So you see, this is about as quick and as simple and easy as you can get. Alright, ready? See? Did you get the chicken? The chicken? Man, that's going to be good. Alright, we'll be back. I'm so excited about this. Okay, I turned everybody over, dusted again with the sauce, and I gave it another couple minutes. And this is what we're ending up with, and I love it. Alright, so it's actually been sitting here for a couple of minutes so that it could rest off. But I gotta come in here and show you the interior, because this is how I like to do it. Let's come in here and get this big bad boy. Check that out. Alright, let's come over here. I tell you, the combination of flavors is unbelievable. It's tangy from the buttermilk brine. Oh, and look at that. Look at that. You see how moist that is all the way through? Can you catch that? We got enough light. It's absolutely unbelievable. So that buttermilk brine makes it tender. And then it's got that tangy thing happening from the vinegar and the white sauce. It's got a little bit of heat to it from the cayenne pepper. It's got that smoky, grilly thing happening. And then creamy from the barbecue sauce. Or from the mayonnaise, rather. This one, you need to put out the extra napkins. Ooh. Yeah, even better. The skin is crispy, the interior is moist and juicy and intense in flavor. Ah, this one's a winner, hands down. Alright, so, in honor of the World Cup, I brought y'all my grilled off Alabama white sauce barbecue chicken. And all I gotta say is, go USA.